You won't believe how quickly I can break down the entire rise and fall of the Roman Empire in just 10 minutes. From humble beginnings to a vast empire, Rome's rise and fall is a captivating saga. Its legacy shaped civilizations for centuries. Let's unravel the secrets of its success and the factors that led to its decline. So, picture this. Two baby bros, Romulus and Remus, allegedly fathered by the god of war, Mars. Yep, you read that right. Their mom was a high priestess type, a Vestal virgin, who was supposed to be all pure and untouched. Anyway, these kids get the royal boot and end up in a river. Talk about a rough start. Luckily, a she-wolf, seriously, finds them and decides to be their foster mom. Nature, huh? They grow up to be, let's say, spirited individuals. They decide to build a city, but things get a bit brotherly, and Romulus ends up killing Remus. A classic case of sibling rivalry, Roman style. Romulus, the ultimate survivor, names the city after himself, Rome. And that, folks, is the legend of how a god, a wolf, and a whole lot of drama gave birth to one of history's greatest empires. Or something like that. Historians are still scratching their heads over this one. The Roman Republic was established in 509 BCE after the overthrow of the last king, Tarquin the Proud. Imagine ancient Rome as a reality TV show. You've got ambitious politicians, power-hungry generals, and a whole lot of backstabbing. The Roman Republic was essentially a political soap opera, with elections, alliances, and rivalries galore. They conquered most of the known world, but couldn't quite conquer their own internal drama. It was a time of togas, triumphs, and a whole lot of political backbiting. Julius Caesar's journey began by forming a powerful alliance with two other influential figures, Pompey and Crassus, known as the First Triumvirate. This trio dominated Roman politics for a period. Julius Caesar was one heck of a multitasker. Not only was he a military genius who conquered a bunch of places, Gaul to be exact, but he was also a bit of a politician. Think of him as a mix of General Patton and a savvy businessman. After winning hearts and territories, he decided Rome needed a makeover. He reformed the calendar, so no more confusing date systems, and even tried his hand at lawmaking. Basically, he was Rome's version of a superhero. Unfortunately, his popularity didn't sit well with everyone. A classic case of too much power too soon, a bunch of senators stabbed him to death. The Roman Empire was officially established in 27 BCE when Augustus Octavian became the first emperor, marking the end of the Republic. Picture this. After a wild reality show season of backstabbing and drama, the Roman Republic finally called it quits. Enter Augustus, the ultimate power player, who transformed the chaos into a well-oiled machine. His reign, the Pax Romana, was basically the ancient world's golden age. Imagine a world without war, where trade flourished and culture exploded. Rome was the epicenter of it all. The Colosseum, the Pantheon, these weren't just buildings, they were status updates. But like every good reality show, there's a catch. Power corrupts, and as the emperors got crazier, the empire started to crumble. Think Nero fiddling while Rome burned, literally. Eventually the party ended, and the empire split in two. But even in ruins, Rome's influence is undeniable. From law to language, its legacy is everywhere. So, next time you're enjoying a pizza or watching a gladiator movie, remember, you're living in the shadow of a once mighty empire. The Pax Romana, or Roman peace, was a 200-year period of relative stability and prosperity that began with Augustus and ended around 180 CE with the death of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Imagine the Roman Empire as a really long, really chill vacation. The Pax Romana was like that sweet spot between spring break and summer vacation. Lots of sun, fun, and very little drama. For about 200 years, Rome was basically the ultimate chill zone. They built amazing roads, think of them as superhighways for chariots, invented plumbing, bye-bye bucket baths, and even came up with laws that would make any lawyer jealous. It was like one giant ancient spa retreat if you could ignore the occasional gladiator fight or political scandal. So, the Roman Empire, once a boss of an empire, started acting like a teenager with too many friends. Money problems, bullies at the border, barbarians were looking at you, and a serious case of political drama were their daily specials. In response, Emperor Diocletian divided the empire into the Western and Eastern Roman empires in 285 CE to manage it more effectively. It was like saying, let's rule half the world each, and maybe things will chill out. This tetrarchic system, later reformed by Constantine the Great, aimed to address administrative and military challenges. Spoiler alert, it didn't. The western half was basically the kid who couldn't keep their room clean, constantly getting picked on and losing stuff. Meanwhile, the eastern half was trying to hold it together, but with so much drama going on, it was like trying to herd cats. The once mighty Western Roman Empire met a tragic end in the 5th century CE. So, Rome was having this epic, centuries-long party. Think toga parties, gladiator shows, and a buffet that would make any foodie drool. But as with all good parties, it eventually had to end. First came the economic hangover. They spent way too much on bread and circuses. Then, those pesky barbarians started crashing the place, uninvited. The sacking of Rome by the Visigoths in 410 CE served as a stark symbol of the empire's vulnerability. Ultimately, the deposition of Romulus Augustulus in 476 CE marked the final chapter of Western Roman rule. While the Eastern Roman Empire would endure for another millennium, the collapse of the West ushered in a new era of European history, characterized by fragmentation and the rise of barbarian kingdoms. Think of the Byzantine Empire as the Roman Empire's cooler, more resilient sibling. After the Western half threw in the towel, the Eastern half was like, "Hold my toga, I've got this." They moved their party to Constantinople, a city so fancy it later got renamed Istanbul, and kept the Roman vibe alive. They had their own rules, the Justinian Code, built some pretty sweet churches like the Hagia Sophia, and even tried to take back the West a couple of times. But life isn't always a Greek tragedy. They had to deal with some serious neighbors, like the Ottomans. Eventually, after a 1,000-year-long party, they finally called it quits in 1453. But hey, they gave it a good shot. Rome started out with a legendary bang in 753 BCE, when the twins Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf, decided to build a city. Fast forward to 509 BCE, and Rome kicked out its last king, Tarquin the Proud, and set up a republic with a fancy system of elected leaders and a senate that made sure nobody had too much power, kind of like a very ancient version of a democracy. Rome's big break came from its knack for winning wars. The Republic fought a bunch of battles, most famously against Carthage in the Punic Wars. They came out on top and grabbed a lot of land and goodies, making Rome richer and more powerful. Think of it as Rome's way of collecting the ultimate set of monopoly properties. Things got a bit wild when Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River in 49 BCE, which was like saying, "I'm not just playing the game, I'm changing the rules." This move led to the end of the Republic and the start of the Roman Empire. By 27 BCE, Augustus became the first emperor and kicked off the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, a time when Rome was basically the top dog in the ancient world, throwing the best parties and building awesome stuff like the Colosseum. And that's how Rome went from a small city to a colossal empire with a flair for the dramatic. The fall of Rome was a gradual process shaped by a combination of internal and external challenges. Internally, the Western Roman Empire suffered from severe economic problems, political corruption, and frequent power struggles among its leaders. This led to ineffective governance and weakened the empire's ability to respond to crises. Externally, Rome faced constant invasions from various barbarian groups, such as the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns, who exploited the empire's weakened state. As the empire's military strength declined and its borders became harder to defend, these invasions became increasingly successful. By 476 CE, these issues culminated when the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer, marking the end of the Western Roman Empire. The fall of Rome is like a big oops for modern times. It teaches us that good leadership is crucial. No one wants a bad reality show in politics. Managing money well is important, so don't spend all your cash on toga parties. Strong defenses and good relations with other countries help keep trouble at bay, like locking your doors and making nice with your neighbors. Being adaptable is key, just like you wouldn't want to be stuck using an old flip phone today. And keeping everyone united prevents chaos, like a group of gladiators fighting over the last pizza slice. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Enchant for more fun insights.